Hello everyone, and welcome to GadgetWarm.com's tutorial. My name is Sham, and today I will be telling you how to increase virtual RAM. Now first of all, let me tell you what increasing virtual RAM is really about. In your PC or your Mac, whatever it might be, you will have certain amount of allocated RAM in your computer. So suppose, let's say you have 4 gigabytes of RAM in your computer. Now you can only do so much work with that RAM. When you open too many applications or multitask, or when application is taking too much RAM space, you start to run out of that space, and in return your computer starts getting slower, your processes start getting slower, and the whole 9 yards. So today I will be telling you how to actually get rid of that factor. Now, is this as effective as actually putting more physical memory in your laptop? Not really. If you put more physical memory in your laptop, that will really give your laptop a performance boost, so I always recommend that. But can you also put that memory and also do this? Or some of the people out there who don't have money right now to actually increase the physical memory, you can take an alternative approach, and this will boost your performance up by 10, 20, or sometimes even 30%. What we are actually going to do is take some of the hard disk space and actually use that as RAM. So let's check it out how to do it. By the way, it doesn't matter if you have Windows 7, Windows XP, or even Windows Vista. The process is basically the same. The menus might be a little different, but you'll come around the settings. So first you click on the Start menu, right click on Computer, click on Properties. This dialog box right here is going to open. As you can see, my laptop has 4 gigabytes of RAM, and 3.8 gigabytes of which it tells me is actually being used right now, or is usable. And 0.2 gigabytes is acquired by some software, maybe the operating system or something of that sort. So now what we want to do is actually click on Advanced System Settings right here. So when you click on that, you will have this little dialog box appear. This is the System Properties box. We want to look at the first option right here, Performance. You can tweak your visual effects, processor scheduling, memory usage, and virtual memory. Virtual memory, that's what we are trying to tweak, so we click on Settings. Again, a little dialog box appears. You can click on Advanced tab right here. Once you click on Advanced tab, it will take you to this right here. The first part is not anything we need to worry about. The virtual memory is where the whole thing comes into play. Let me read the description. A paging file is an area on the hard disk that Windows uses as if it were a RAM. So basically it's saying it's going to use some portion of the hard disk as if it was a RAM. Now you can see total paging file size for all drives right now for my computer is 8,911 megabytes. For your computer it might be different depending on how much actual RAM you have, or how much is being allocated from your hard disk. So you click on Change right here, and this will show you this little dialog box, Virtual Memory. Now at this point, some of you might be wondering, what is this? I don't have C or a C and a D drive in my computer. Well, that's perfectly normal because some of the computers just have one drive. This is basically my recovery drive. If I open my computer right here, you'll be able to see that's my recovery drive, and that's my regular C drive where I store everything, 441 gigabytes. So if you have one drive, that's perfectly fine. You'll be able to do it still. Some of you might have this kind of screen where this thing is, the little thing is ticked off, automatically manage paging file size for all drives, and what this does is it doesn't let you tweak the settings. The computer is going to automatically manage how much hard disk it's going to allocate towards the RAM. So you can click that and click right here on custom size, and once you do that, you will see initial size and a maximum size. What this will let you do is dedicate amount of megabytes you want towards your more RAM storage. So it tells you here minimum allowed, which I really don't know what it's for, but it tells you, oh yeah, that's for how much you have to keep a certain minimum amount of your hard disk towards that RAM. You can't have zero. So that, and recommended, it recommends, like, this is how much it's recommending me to do it. Then it's telling me how much is currently allocated, sorry. So you must be wondering how it's allocated 8,000 megabytes where I only see 5,000 right here. Well, I have 5,000 from the C drive and 3,000 from the D drive, so that makes it a total of 8,911 megabytes. Now, here you can put in a number. Now what's your number going to be? Every one of you is going to have a different amount of RAM in your computer. Some of you might have a gigabyte, some of you might have 2, some of you might have 8. How can you still boost your computer up? Well, we can always open the calculator. Not like we need it, but yes, it's always better to calculate these things on the calculator. 1024 megabytes, roughly around in a gigabyte. So if we have 1024 megabytes in a gigabyte, how many megabytes in 4 gigabytes, or whatever amount of RAM you have? Suppose, let's say you have 4 gigabytes. So we click on the multiplication sign and click on 4, and that's how much RAM we have in megabytes. Now, what we want to do is multiply that by 1.5, because usually people do 1.5 or either 2. But 1.5 is a good rule of thumb. That's being on the safe side. So you multiply it by 1.5, and that's how much you're allowed, or more like you should, tweak it by. So you can I can put here 6,144, and here also 6,144. But since the computer recommended me 5,839, that's what I went for. If you wish to go for 6,144 or whatever your number is, that's perfectly fine. That you're not going to be destroying your computer by doing that. If you'd go with the recommended one, I would say that's fine also. I didn't notice a big performance difference between 6,144 and 5,839, so I just went with 5,839. Once you type in that number, and right here and here, it's the same number in both places, you can click set after that. Once you click set and it goes through the process, you click OK. Once you click OK, this sign might be still applicable, so you click apply, and in some of your computers it might tell you to restart the computer. So you just click OK there, OK here, exit out of everything, and you can restart your computer, and that way you will have your actual virtual memory upgraded. So will this make things faster? Yeah, a little. It will definitely have some sort of impact on your computer depending on how much you're allocating. But will this be again as useful as upgrading the physical RAM? No. I would really recommend you to go and buy some physical RAM if you don't have enough on your computer, because the RAM is the cheapest upgrade you can do. So if you do that, your computer will really boost up its performance. That being said, stay tuned for our next video. We will be telling you how to use a flash drive to tweak the performance of your laptop. That's right, just the same way we allocated some hard disk space and it would only let us do so much, we can also do the same thing with the flash drive and use USB flash drive. We can also use the USB flash drive to speed things up a little. Can we use both at the same time? Yes, we can. So stay tuned for the next video. Subscribe to the channel, please. Thank you.